What is going on to all my Umbrella Academy fans out there, and welcome to my channel, Movie Files. I'm assuming that if you all are watching this video, you just got done watching the Umbrella Academy Season 3, and you're saying to yourself, wait a second, how are they alive? What timeline are we in? Why are they overlooking the city? What does the post-credit scene mean for Season 4? Well, I'm going to attempt, and I'm going to try to explain and give you my thoughts and theories of what it all means. This is my official In and Explain for Season 3 of the Umbrella Academy. Full spoilers ahead. So before we get into the main breakdown, it's important to kind of recap how we got to that point. So we know that both academies had to work together in taking down the samurai who was the leader of the Hotel Oblivion, and it all seemed to be a part of Reginald's plans, which let's go ahead and talk about Reggie's plans as we end this season with him overlooking the city with his wife Abigail. But wait a second, Elliot. Who is she, number one? And wasn't she dead the last time we saw her? Well, to answer your question, it's yes to both of those questions. But who exactly is Abigail? Let's recap and talk about her for a second. As you all might recall, we saw her back in Season 1's finale, in which we saw Reggie next to her side as she was dying. At the same time, it appeared that Reggie's planet was also being destroyed. We saw her again this season when we got the flashback with Luther, who was on the moon, who he thought he was doing just absolutely nothing. It was pointless when he found out what that mission meant back in Season 1. But I think it's interesting. His dad really did have faith in him because he actually let him on the moon to protect his wife Abigail as we saw her in this chamber in space. Now remember what Reggie told Allison, we will both get what we want by resetting the timeline, and they both do, but the question is how? Now this is where my theory of Reggie the alien comes into place. I believe Reggie actually time traveled before but was unsuccessful, but he was able to find a timeline in which he was successful, but more importantly he also had his wife alive. So I believe this is a timeline in which both he's in control, his wife Abigail is alive, and everyone gets their happy ending. But what is the cost of getting that happy ending? Because I don't think it's a coincidence that he chose Allison to help him, considering that Allison was the same person he went to in Season 1 to rumor her sister Vanya at the time and forgetting her powers. I don't think that's a coincidence there. But speaking of powers, is this the proper timeline? Is this the timeline in which the heroes are powerless, and will they regain their powers come Season 4? What can we expect in Season 4 when it comes to our heroes not having their powers and not having their family as they all go their separate ways? But I think it's important to start the discussion of talking about Luther, who died the episode before. He's in Klaus's world and he comes back. How does that all happen? Well, let's talk about that here, because I think the thing that we're seeing in this moment as far as this new timeline, it can go one of two ways. One, we all know that Klaus is the king of the dead, or as he calls it, the prince of the dead, or by resetting this timeline, all our characters who died before are brought back into this new happy timeline in which they get what they want, which we kind of get the idea. None of them really wants their powers. They're getting that in this new timeline, but what's the cost of this new timeline is the big question. Will Luther be reunited with his new wife Sloane in this new timeline? Will Diego and Lila be able to become happy parents? Will Five seek out the answers and why he created the commission? Will Allison be able to live happy ever after with Ray and Claire? And will Victor be able to find his new life? That's what we're going to have to hope and to see when it comes to Season 4. Is this the proper timeline? How do we end up in this timeline? And what other secrets the Reggie has up his sleeve? That's something I'm looking forward to when it comes to Season 4. But we have to talk about the post-credit scene. Let's discuss. We end the show with Ben on a train, reading a book, and for the first time in Season 3, actually having a genuine smile. But the question at hand is that the Ben from the Sparrow Academy? Or is that the Ben from this new universe? And if it is the Ben from this new universe, are we going to see a Season 4 in which we're going to see our characters interacting with themselves, which we all know can cause a paradox and cause destruction within the universe? So again, was that the Sparrow version of Ben? Because playing into that narrative, we all know that the Sparrow Ben, he kind of felt like he was not a part of the family the entire season. We see Sloane ends up going with Luther and kind of leaving him as far as being a family member. No one really accepts him as the number one. So was that Sparrow Ben going back to his family in his new timeline to be welcome into a family? Or again, is that version's timeline of Ben who's just living his life, no no powers, and he's going to maybe stumble upon the Sparrow Band. And again, we're going to see our characters looking at themselves and kind of trying to figure out, how is this world work? How does this timeline work? So those are kind of the main things that stood out to me in this season finale. New timeline. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Will they discover that their father, Reggie, is an alien? And if so, is he trying to bring his planet to Earth? Is he trying to recreate his planet on this Earth? And again, how is it that he has his wife and has all of his things that he wanted to end in a happy ending? Allison getting Ray and also Claire, what does that mean? And will our characters inevitably come together as a family? Or again, will they stay their separate ways? We'll come and see what comes of all this come season 4. But let me know in the comments your thoughts, your theories. How did you feel about the ending? How did you feel about the post-credit scene? And what do you all hope to see in season 4? I did a full breakdown of season 4 on the channel. I'll leave that in the description of this video. Thank you all for watching this breakdown. If you enjoyed it, before you leave, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my future reviews. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown. We'll catch you all on the next one.